You know, I always forget apparently to lock, or to rather to unlock the rotation on my device. Auto rotate on. And yep, even with it not rotating, it's not allowing me to do it. So we're just gonna have to do it this way. Sorry, y'all. I know you tend to like the other way. I tend to like it as well. For whatever reason, phone's not doing it, so therefore I'm not doing it. Hope everybody's doing well on this extremely hot summer evening. What's up, guys? How's it going? You'll notice I'm rocking an Astros shirt, and that is not just because I am currently a Houston native. That is because for the next couple of days, I am not going to be the only Houston native. No, no, no. One John David Cole is actually coming here to Houston, and he will actually be with me at Truck Yard this Thursday. And if y'all are able to join us, I hope you can. We've got some details that we posted out on the podcast feed, so go check it out. That's got all the information. I want to get that out of the way first before anything else, because we'd love for some of y'all to come join us if you're able to. Y'all, I am smoking. This is really interesting. I see it in the chat. I had a vision for what I wanted to do tonight. Like, I had a vision of a pipe and some pipe tobacco. And in my head, I was going to do this little live stream here. We're going to do it with my long, giant Nording pipe, and I was going to do it with some Frogmorton. That's not what happened. What happened was I was going to get my pipe tobacco, and I found an unmarked bag. And I was kind of up for an adventure. And so I thought, you know what if I just grab the unmarked bag and just we'll see what's in it. Like, has my taste buds gotten to the point where I can actually recognize a pipe tobacco instantly? You have to understand, I'm sure everybody's cellar is unique. Mine is certainly unique. I have a lot of tins, but I also have a lot of jars. I typically jar up my pipe tobacco. Beyond that, I also have a lot of gifts. John David will come and he will bring an assortment of various pipe tobaccos, typically marked. It's very rare they're unmarked. And in this situation, no. Whenever he sends bags, they're marked. What ends up happening is whenever I travel, I put a little bit of pipe tobacco in a bag. I pack it up with a couple of pipes and some pipe cleaners in a little case, little sunglasses case, and to share with everybody there. So clearly, this is from my last trip. To Pensacola. Visiting family. Great little family reunion we had out in Pensacola. A lot of fun. And I clearly packed this for that. And so, I wanted to kind of get on here. And so I got this. I figured this would be a better pipe to bring anyway, because this is one of my favorites. It was a gift from John David when we first bought our house in Jackson. And so it's always, we all have different pipes, make us think of different people. This one always reminds me of John David. And so I thought, you know what? He's coming to town. I'll bust out this pipe. Plus, it's just a really good smoke. So you got to understand, I was prepared to come on here for a minute and kind of do some estimation and stumble hard, have you guys laugh all up and down the place because, of course, I can't figure it out. Here's the thing. I opened up the bag instantly. I had forgotten where this was from. Like, I probably would have, if I had known it was specifically from this Pensacola trip, I probably would have known instantly what it was. I didn't realize that was the case. But the second I opened it, I already knew. It's Sleepy Hollow. It's the unmistakable, just room note. So, I mean, just that, I love it. I absolutely love it. And it is delicious. And so whilst this is not the vision that I had for this evening, I have absolutely no regrets. No, AZ. No, it is not Whale Song. Don't even get me started about that. I have no idea how Whale Song tastes. Y'all know how Whale Song tastes. I don't know how Whale Song tastes. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. You know what? I might be a little bitter about that. I might be. No, no, I'm just kidding. I'm hoping that he might bring some. I have no earthly idea. He probably won't. I don't think he actually has any. I don't know. Maybe he will. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. It's kind of like, you never know. You never know what he might bring. I know, right? If I just need to keep on telling myself I'm not angry. Like I'm not angry. 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 And a can just fell into the pool. Okay, so y'all, I titled this video "Pirates, Painters, and Pipe Smokers." And there's a reason I did that. Oh, and actually, ironically, I'm getting a text message that relates. Oh, wonderful. Okay, great. Um, so as y'all know, we've been doing this series of. Oh, I think when I just pulled that down, that might have messed with the feed. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Anyway, if that kicked you off, then I apologize. Hopefully, I'm back and it'll fix in post. But yeah, so as y'all know, we've been doing this, half bowl history series, taking kind of the pipe smoker, or rather the Heroes of the Bowl series, and kind of expanding it out. Mm. And it's been a lot of fun. I got to tell y'all, this last past one that we did with the Calico Jack episode was just a ton of fun. If y'all haven't watched that one or listened to that one, rather, I strongly encourage it. Honestly, all of the ones that we've done, not just the pipe smokers and the painters, those end up being kind of standouts. But every single one of them we've done thus far, and even this next one we're going to do, which is neither a pipe smoker nor a painter. Well, no, I'm sorry, he's a pipe smoker. He's neither a painter nor a pirate. All of these have just been a lot of fun. And so I'm really looking forward to rolling out more of those, getting y'all's feedback, hearing how you're enjoying those, because there's just something about like following these stories, and the taking the pressure off. It doesn't have to be perfectly accurate, right? Like, I mean, we drop some facts and some dates and that sort of thing, and we talk about some historic events, but we also, or rather, mostly me, I like to add a little bit of finesse, a little bit of flavor to it. I kind of bring the modern lexicon into the entire experience and trying to, make it, I don't know, just make it fun. And so hopefully y'all have enjoyed those. I certainly enjoyed this last one. And I was actually very recently, in a local art exhibit they had for Monet. It was like a what do you? It was like an immersive museum. That was kind of what they were going for. And I've been to one of the Van Gogh ones, which was phenomenal. I actually did that after we did our Van Gogh episode, which made it even all the more fun because we had just done this big history of Van Gogh. And then I saw that there was one for Monet, and I was like, oh, this is great. We just did Monet. And admittedly, the experience wasn't all that great. Like they had this massive wall of like digital. I mean, the entire thing was like a digital projection, and they had all of Monet's paintings kind of come to life. Of course, the famous one, we're sitting there smoking his pipe, and just all of these, really beautiful imagery. But it was kind of lackluster when it was all said and done. I really would have enjoyed actually more of a traditional art experience to kind of go through and see his art over time, especially after having just done that history. And so, anyway, I think it's interesting, these two groups of people, right? Like pirates and painters. They're both rock stars in their own fields and in their own kind of way. And they're like polar opposites of what you really think of, right? Like the painter, the kind of the artist, the contemplative, whatever. And then you got the pirate, the villain, the scallywag, the scoundrel. But there's something that unites these two. It's this right here. And it's an interesting thing. You got to think about the concept of like, could a Monet sit down with Blackbeard and have a conversation? You know what I mean? Like, we talk about the kind of the opportunities that smoking a pipes allows us, especially when you've got different people from different walks of life, different perspectives, whatever it may be. And the pipe kind of forces you to take a seat. You know, get a little bit more contemplative, possibly shut you up. Sometimes we all need to shut up. And so I think about those two groups of people, like painters and pirates, like the concept of them, like what would a what would a pipe shop be like one day if like this like out of time moment where these Renaissance painters and these like pirates all walked in the door and were enjoying pipes and pipe tobacco together. Like what kind of conversations would happen? What would they smoke? Would they kind of group off in their own groupings, or would there be more of a, kind of a blending over? I don't know. I don't know. As we kind of explore some of these pipe smokers from history, it's just kind of cool to think about. I referenced on this week's episode that I've got a story that I've had up in my head for a while. And I'm going to talk more about this on future episodes, but I have decided that it should no longer live up here. It needs to get out. And the thing is, as many of you know, I'm dyslexic. And writing is just not my medium. Like, I can't, it's just not, I've tried, and I have written some things, and it's always very, very bad, and it is also a very, very long and tenuous process. And so what I've done is I've written the story as kind of a treatment or an outline. Oh, y'all hear that? I think we got some cicadas out here tonight. But I've kind of written the outline of the story. And what I did was I wrote it as an audio series, as an audio drama. 3 seasons. And given the fact that I can write a treatment, but I can't write a script, we actually just hired a scriptwriter. I met with her earlier today for kind of our first kickoff meeting. I'm really impressed with her work. She's worked with audio dramas before. She actually has one that was published and one that's about to come out that she wrote for. And it was good stuff. I was really encouraged. I remember part of her interview. We had a lot of different applicants put in for this, which was really awesome. But one of the things I talk to people about is kind of their knowledge of pirates. And, this is a fantasy, this is a fiction, but at the same time, it's, you're using an era as an inspiration. And so you kind of want to have that baked into the process. And so I asked her, I was like, what, tell me about pirates. But pirates. She's like, whoa, well, I grew up in North Carolina. Now, some of y'all might hear that and think, what does that have to do with pirates? Well, a fairly prominent pirate operated right outside of North Carolina. And so that was really, really awesome to kind of make that Blackbeard connection with her. And then to kind of talk about some other things as well. And she really got, I think, the vision for what the series is going to be. And I'm just super excited. We'll start a casting call in August. I've got some high hopes for some individuals that I'd really, really like to bring on board for the series. The goal is to kind of produce a pilot and have it ready before the end of the year. And I'll kind of share more about the process as we go along. But yeah, I'm excited for it. It's just one of those things where, for the longest time, I've wanted to kind of explore telling stories, telling like fictional stories and original stories. And as much as I love telling the stories of real people, as we'll continue to do on Heroes of the Half Bowl Histories, there's a lot of stories up here. And, some of y'all may like it, some of y'all may not. I hope that y'all all do. I hope that everybody will get a little something out of it. It's interesting because the inspiration for the stories came from stories I told my kids. But then when I ended up writing this particular story, it has much more of an adult, kind of audience in mind. And so, I don't know. We'll see what ends up coming from it. But I thought I'd share. I thought I'd share. You're pretty deep tonight, Bo. Maybe some sleepy eyes. Hey, you know what? I might be down to the bottom of the bowl right there, but I'm trying. Always get a little contemplative with the pipe. Always try to be. All right, let's see. Let me scroll through some of y'all's comments right here. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. Um, Waiting and watching for the whale song drop and still missed it. No, see, Jay, I hear you, man. He didn't even give me a heads up. That's the other. Like, I'm not bitter. You know what? At some point, I've thought about what would it be like if we had like an airing of grievances episode of Country Squire Radio. I don't think y'all could handle that though. I don't know. We like whale song would be high up on my list, but he already knows. Let's see. Y'all think the JD? Okay, Az, you think the JD has some squared away? Maybe he might. He might have packed it away somewhere. Speaking of pirates, I'm enjoying some pirate cake right now. You know what? I've never actually had pirate cake. I need to try that. I would really like that. Let's see. Oh, Binome, yes. Van Gogh and Georgia. Yes, so, it's interesting. So my wife and I went to Vegas last year for a conference on immersive entertainment. And it was held in a location where they were having one of the Van Gogh exhibits, not the one that we saw here in Houston, but the other one. And they talked about, but the other one was also present and attending the event. They talked about just what an interesting thing that you have these two very separate Van Gogh immersive traveling events. Very different, very different. And happening at the same time, completely independent, no plans. They weren't like trying to compete with each other. It just ended up happening that way. And I think that's fascinating. But the one that we went to here was really, really good. The other one I think was more similar to the Monet one, which was interesting, but I would have liked something I think a little bit more kind of, I don't know, a little bit more focused on his art. Y'all, a giant crane just like flew overhead. That was really cool. Okay, let's see what else y'all got. Let's see. Pipe shop fails. You know what? I tell you what, not part of this next session, but I don't think we've announced yet that we're going to be in Vegas in October, performing live at the Vegas Pipe Show. So I probably shouldn't announce that here. I should probably like save that. You don't tell anybody that. But I think that would be a really fun one to do if that doesn't get us into too much trouble. That might actually be, what if we did a Pipe Shop Fails live from Vegas? That could be that, you know what? That could be pretty good. That could be pretty good. I'm gonna have to think about that one. But forget that I said that we're gonna be in Vegas, performing at the Pipe Show. Me and John David. All right, let's see. Pirate cake out of a Meerschaum. Any cake out of a Meerschaum is quite delicious. This is very true. Okay, good lap bomb, smooth and rich. I haven't tried it. I need to try it. Jay, follow the muse, better to try and fail. And then see, Jay, that is exactly my mindset as well. Like in my mindset, it's always better to have at least tried and failed. Like the biggest failure in my mind is not trying at all. So we'll see. In my, the other thing too is it's never been a question of whether or not I was going to tell the story. It's really more of a question of how. I tried so hard back in 2019 to work on this play, and I hope it we'll get another we'll definitely get another crack at it. But that was the closest I ever got to really kind of putting something like that out. Everything else I've ever done has been infotainment or documentary, and that's great. That has its place. I'm proud of the work that we've done. But man, I would love to tell some stories. Like I would love to tell some stories. And I really, it's a humbling thing. It's a vulnerable thing to tell stories because they all come up in your head, right? And it's really kind of sharing something that's very personal. And it's different because you tell somebody your lived experience or you share kind of your thoughts on something, and that's obviously very personal. People have got extremely personal stories they share. And we have on CSR to some extent, on Country Squire Radio to some extent. But a story almost seems more personal to some extent because you're kind of like you've got these characters and some of them are based on people you know and some of them are kind of based on your own projections, and you kind of put a little bit of yourself in every single one of these characters, the heroes and the villains, and I don't know. And then also you kind of work out some stuff, or at least for me anyway. I always process things through story. I always process, I'll reference a movie or a book or a television show or something more often than not to kind of really communicate how I'm feeling. And so in many regards, it's kind of a way to cathartically work through, you know, some of my own stuff that I'm wrestling with. So I don't know. I think I don't. I hope it'll be good. I hope people all like it. Um, I don't know if you will or not, but there'll be more about it as we get a little closer to it. Uh, I don't think I've shared the name of it. I think I'm gonna hang on to that until we get closer to, um, like once the pilot is in production, and then at that point I'll probably share more about the name. And like I said, I've got high hopes for the cast, and if we get some kind of bigger names, which I'm very hopeful for, y'all will be the first to know. Y'all, I'm about to sign off for the night because I'm burnt through that Sleepy Hollow far too fast. And one of the things I've learned from doing these live streams is I can't repack and relight my pipe, especially because the wind blew. Hang on now. Okay, the wind blew the mystery back. So if I want to enjoy my pipe, I'm not going to be able to enjoy this live stream too much longer. But I do want to thank y'all so much. Again, we'd love to have y'all join us. We are here in Houston, Texas. John David will be here. We are doing a listener meetup on Thursday night at Truck Yard, 7:30. The details are on the latest audio drop from Country Squire Radio. You'll find it there. If you're in the area, if you know folks in the area who'd like to come out and hang out with us, enjoy a pipe, we'd love to spend some time with you, get a chance to get to know you in the midst of this crazy heat wave. I think it'll still be good. I think I mean, hey, I just enjoyed a pipe, and I guess we're a little bit later than we will be. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. And if it gets too hot, we'll find a cooler spot. But anyway, all right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Really appreciate y'all. I know that I always drop these without any kind of fanfare or kind of announcement, kind of letting you know. So it's always a surprise when it happens. And y'all are so good to be able to jump on and hang with me for a little while. So as always, I want to try to do as many of these as I possibly can. So hopefully we'll be doing at least a quick one when John David's here. Always have to get him by surprise on these lives. So we'll see what ends up happening. But anyway, all right. Talk to y'all later. Have a great night, guys.